Hi everyone. So this session today we are discussing on the new topic that is polymers. In our previous sessions we were learning about the novel drug delivery systems like control release drug delivery systems. We have come across the various mechanisms by which the control release drug delivery system can be formulated and it releases the drug from the delivery systems. The in each type of formulation or each type of mechanisms we come across a word that is polymers. Now we are going to learn what are these polymers, how they can be classified, and what are their various applications in development of controlled release drug delivery systems. Polymers are a very important part of a drug delivery system which controls or which the total release of the drug is depends upon the type or the amount of the polymers. Definition of the polymers include they are the large or macromolecules containing several small repeating units, and these are formed to molecules called as monomers through a process called as polymerization. So based upon the definition, so they are the large molecule or they are the macromolecules. This is the first speciality of this polymer. They are a macromolecules. Secondly, they contain several small repeating units. These small repeating units are called as monomers. When these monomers join together by a process called polymerization, we get a polymers. So the small units combined by polymerization to form a polymer, a macromolecule. So this is another demographic picture of formation of a polymer by a polymerization technique. That is, various units of ethylene undergo polymerization to form polyethylene. That means combination of monomers by polymerization lead to formation of a polymer. The term polymer is derived from two Greek words. Poly means many, that we are familiar, and meros means parts, literally meaning many parts. So polymers are formed by polymerization of monomers. Polymers possess diverse properties because each polymer molecule is made of many parts, many monomers that vary in their sequence and length of the polymer chain. That means the entire property of a polymer is depends upon the property of the monomers. Now we've seen it is combination of various monomers which forms a polymer. Now the entire properties of a monomer may be present in a polymer. At the same time, how the monomer is formed, where these monomers are linked, which branch it is linked, which types of monomers are there. Based upon this linkage or sequence of arrangement of monomers or based upon the length of the monomers, the property of a polymer may vary. That means the property of a polymer is entirely depends on the property of a monomer. At the same time, the sequence or the length of the polymeric chain or the sequence at which the monomers may combine or undergo polymerization to form the polymer. So this sequence and the properties of the monomers is maybe literally affecting the property of a polymer. These are some of the applications which we will discuss at the end of this sessions. Now, so this session we are focusing mainly on the classification of polymers. In each textbook, we can see different types of classifications. So here we are discussing majorly 5 different classification, that is classification based on origin of polymer, classification based on polymerization mechanism, third based on the structure, fourth based on their physical properties, and fifth based on the thermal response of the polymers. Now, each textbook or in literatures you can find different sorts of classification based on different things. It varies. Ultimately, the content of the polymers will be ultimately the same. Okay, so first thing is based upon the origin. The polymers are classified, that is natural, synthetic as well as a semi-synthetic polymer. Let us discuss one by one. Natural polymers, also called as biopolymers, and possess the property of being degradable, biodegradable. It is get converted to biomolecule after a certain period of time. So these are the molecules of natural origin first of all, and other words, these are also called as biopolymer. The main property of these polymers are they are biodegradable. That means if we administer to our body, it will be degraded. It will be degraded by the normal biological mechanism of our body. It will be degraded. So such type of polymers we call it as the biodegradable polymers, or by origin they are of natural origin. They are also called as natural polymers. So example of these polymers are starch, cellulose, wool, silk, nucleic acids, etc. So here is a picture, demographic picture of the natural polymer where the amino acid sequences are joining together to form a nucleic acid polymer. So this way we can have the natural polymers of natural origin or biodegradable polymers of natural origin. Secondly, they are the semi-synthetic polymers. These polymers are obtained upon chemical modification of the natural polymers, resulting in enhancement of their properties for a specific usage. So they are called, as example is carboxymethyl cellulose, cellulose diacetate, etc. So this is a partially synthesized or this is developed from the natural polymer. So natural polymers, you have seen cellulose is an example of natural polymer. Then this natural polymer undergoes certain modification for a particular purpose, and we can modify this natural polymer and we form a polymer that we call it as a semi-synthetic polymer. An example is carboxymethyl cellulose or methyl cellulose. So they are the cellulose are the natural polymers. They are modified by the addition of the methoxyl group to form a methyl cellulose or carboxymethyl cellulose or cellulose diacetate, etc. Next one is of synthetic polymers. So these polymers are purely synthesized chemically by taking respective monomers. So here the pure polymerization mechanism happens. So these polymers are being synthesized externally by the polymerization technique with the help of the monomers. So example of this is nylon, polyethylene, polypropylene, etc. So that was the first classification of polymers based upon the origin. Next is based on the polymerization mechanism. Polymers are classified on mechanisms as addition polymers, condensation polymers, and ring opening polymers. This is purely based upon the polymerization technique used for the preparation of polymers. So first one is the addition polymers. These polymers are formed when monomers get added to form a long chain. It involves a reaction initiation, propagation, and termination. So what happens here? The monomers are added together. The monomers are added together to form a long chain. So here you can see how the monomers are added, and finally it forms a long chain. So like this, further monomers are added to this chain, and the chain length will be going very much high. And this formation, this polymerization process happens in three different steps. Once is initiation, then propagation and termination. That is initiation of polymerization reaction, then the polymerization reaction continues, and finally the reaction gets terminated. An example of the polymer developed by this addition reaction is polyethylene or polystyrene, etc. So here you can keep in mind that the monomers are added to a long chain to form a long chain. Now, what is the second type? That is condensation polymer. These are the polymers are formed as a result of series of reactions in which two molecules react to molecule with elimination of a small molecule like water or ammonia. So this is purely a chemical reaction happens in which these monomers undergo reaction with a particular molecule with an elimination of a water or the ammonia. That's condensation happens. So the polymer formation or polymer development or polymerization reaction based upon the condensation, we call it as the condensation polymer. So here you can see the elimination of the water molecule as a result of the polymerization, condensation polymers. Next one is a ring opening polymer. These are the polymers that are formed when a cyclic molecule undergo cleavage. So it is clearly mentioned a cyclic compound undergo cleavage to form a linear molecule. So once a cycle molecule undergo cleavage, it forms a linear molecule, and these linear molecules then undergo the polymerization. So example is polymer nylon 6. Nylon is an example of the polymer developed by the ring opening mechanism. So here you can see the cyclic ring of this monomers are being opened. Once this ring breaking happens or ring breakdown happens, it forms a chain like monomer, and this monomers further forms a polymers. So these are known as the ring opening polymers. The third classification is based upon the structure of the polymers. So based upon the structure, they are again classified as linear, branched or cross-linked polymers, amorphous or crystalline polymers, homopolymers or copolymers, organic, inorganic or organometallic polymers, isotactic, syntactic and atactic polymers. So these are the classification of polymers based upon the structures. Let us see one by one. What is a linear polymer? So this consists of a molecule arranged in a line and are represented as a simple length. That means this monomers are going as a single line. So in this picture you can see clearly the linear polymer, branched polymer and a crossly linked polymer. So in case of a linear polymer, the monomers forms a long chain, a straight chain. There is no branches. Whereas in the case of a branched polymer, attached to the central straight chain, there are number of branches will be present, and this called it as the branched polymers. Finally, the crossly linked polymers, where the branches linked each other, branches linked with the other chain. This forms a cross-linking between the chains with the help of the branches. That is, a cross-linking happens between the main chains to form a cross-linked polymer. So these are the three different types, that is linear polymer, branched and cross-linked. As per definition, the branched polymer consists of molecules arranged in a lines containing further branches and are represented by a line of finite length to which short or long branches lines are attached. An example is polyvinyl acetate graft methacrylic acid, polyacetonitrile graft butadiene, etc. These are some of the examples of branched polymers. And the cross-linked polymers contain strands molecules that linked through bridges, cross-links, to form a chain-like structures. That means it forms a main chain-like structure, and these chain-like structures has again been bridged with the help of certain cross-links, that we call it as the cross-linked polymers. Example is vulcanized rubber, resins, etc. The next classification based on the amorphous or crystalline molecule, that is based upon the structure. The second classification is amorphous or the crystalline. So here you can see how an amorphous form and a crystalline form represents. Generally, the solid states, all the solid molecules we represented as amorphous or the crystalline molecules, where the crystalline molecules, they have a rigid structure and a shape. So the same concept applies here in the case of the polymers also. The amorphous form and the crystalline form, you can see one is having a specific structure, others without. So amorphous polymers, these polymers do not show any ordered arrangement of chain. So they are each a long chain. It forms a long chain, but the long chain do not have any proper arrangement. It is something like forming like a cross-linking, but it is not cross-linking also. So they are called as amorphous polymers. There is example is butadiene rubber. In the case of a crystalline polymers, these polymers show ordered arrangement of chain to some extent. However, the nature of the crystallinity cannot be compared to that of the low molecular weight compounds. So compared with that of the amorphous form, crystalline form shows a better arrangement of the chain. That means some structure, we can say some structure for this crystalline compound. So such type of, we call it as the crystalline polymers. Example is polyethylenes. Next one is homopolymers or copolymers. Homopolymers, these polymers contain only one kind of repeating units in their structure. This is a difference between the homopolymer and a copolymer. Suppose in the homopolymer, here we have A as a monomer, they forms a strange structure. Whereas copolymers, where more than one monomeric species is responsible for the polymer formation. That is, A is there, B is there, both are mixed together. So there is no proper arrangement, but the B is merged with A or A can be merged with B, but there are different types of monomers. So whereas in the case of a homopolymer, the polymers contain only one kind of repeating units. The same type of monomer joined together to form a polymer, we call it as a homopolymer. Whereas in the case of a copolymer, these are the polymers that containing more than one kind of repeating units. In the example you have seen, there is A monomer is there, B monomer is there. So more than one kind. Other than A, there may be other type of monomers also forms that forms a polymer called as copolymer. The third one is altering copolymers. These polymers contain two or more kind of repeating units arranged alternatively. So more than two or maybe more than that. So such type of monomers combine together to form the polymer we call as altering copolymers. Next one is the block copolymer. These polymers contain two or more kind of repeating units arranged in the form of blocks. So here in the picture you can see it's represented by different colors, blue, red, green color. That means the same monomers forms a block. So block of A monomers. After a set of blocks, then block of B monomers. After a set of B monomer, again it can be A or it can be a C monomer. That means different blocks as being formed. So based upon these blocks, since the monomers forms these blocks, is called as block copolymers. These polymers contain two or more kinds of repeating units arranged in the form of blocks. Individual type of monomer may appear as a block attached to another block of a second type of monomer. Example is polyacrylonitrile block butadiene. Next one is polymers contain two or more homopolymers where one homopolymer form of a chain is linked covalently to another backbone of the second homopolymer. So these polymers, these are also known as the graft polymers, whereas this is again another type of block polymer. As we discussed the block polymers, the monomers forms a block. Here in the case of the graft polymers, the blocks is being arranged as a side chain or it forms a grafting to the main chain. So these polymers contain two or more homopolymers where in one homopolymer forms a chain is linked covalently to the backbone of the second homopolymer. polymer. So the binding or the grafting of the branched homopolymer to a main homopolymer happens. So here you can see in the picture the blue color, that is the main chain of the polymers, whereas the red color represent the branches. It is being branched, or it is grafted into the main polymer. So these are called as the grafted copolymers. Example is polyacrylonitrile graft butadiene, whereas in the case of the plain block polymer we have seen polyacrylonitrile block butadiene. Here it is graft butadiene. That is only difference. That is, one is a grafted one, other which forms a purely block. Here is a block. In case of the grafted one, a block also will be there. At the same time, it forms a graft like design or a branches. So they are called as the graft copolymers. The next one is organic, inorganic, or organometallic polymers. So what are organic polymers? Organic polymers contain carbon atoms in their main chain along with the other majorly polymers belonging to the category. So the main thing is, in the main chain they will have a carbon atom. The carbon atoms will be present in the main chain. So such type is called as the organic polymers. Whereas in the case of inorganic polymers, they do not contain carbon atoms in their main chain. Instead, phosphorus, silicon, nitrogen, etc. may be present, and the side chain may have the carbon atoms. So just opposite is the case of the inorganic polymers, where in the main chain any of the molecules like phosphorus, silicon, nitrogen may be present in the main chain, and the carbon atoms will be present in the side chain. So such type of systems we call it as the inorganic polymers. The next one is organometallic polymers. Contain both atoms of carbon and metals and are also known as metal containing polymers. They show high degree of thermal stability. Example is bismuth containing polymers, antimony containing polymers, etc. So the polymers which also contain the metals, that we call it as the organometallic polymers. The polymer containing atoms, that is carbon atom along with the metallic atoms, we call it as the organometallic polymers. Okay, so that's all for this session. So just go through the remaining two classifications we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.